రామకృష్ణ మఠం హైదరాబాద్ వారి సౌజన్యంతో ఈ కార్యక్రమాలని నిర్వహిస్తున్నారు. ఇక ప్రతి ఎపిసోడ్లోని మీకు ఏ విషయాలు ఉంటాయి, ఏం అంశాలు ఉంటాయన్న విషయం గురించి చెప్పడానికి నేను ఈరోజు మీ దగ్గరకు వచ్చాను. ప్రతి ఎపిసోడ్ని కూడాను మేము కొన్ని సెగ్మెంట్స్గా డివైడ్ చేసుకున్నాం. ఆ సెగ్మెంట్స్ గురించి మీకు చెప్పబోతున్నాను. ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పబోయేటువంటి ఈ సెగ్మెంట్స్ ఇదే ఆర్డర్లో వస్తాయని రూల్ లేదు, కానీ ఈ సెగ్మెంట్స్ మాత్రం మీకు ఉంటాయి. ఏమేమి ఉంటాయి? కాన్వర్జేషన్స్, స్టోరీ నరేషన్. నెక్స్ట్ సెగ్మెంట్లో వచ్చేసరికి థర్డ్ సెగ్మెంట్లో ఇన్స్పిరేషనల్ ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ గ్రేట్ పర్సనాలిటీస్, ఒక ప్యారబుల్ ఆర్ అన్ అనెక్డోట్, గ్రామర్ అండ్ ఒక కోట్. సో ఇలాగ ఒక 5 సెగ్మెంట్లు అనుకోండి సుమారుగా. ఈ సెగ్మెంట్ల గురించి కొంచెం వివరాలు ఇస్తాను మీకు. ఇప్పుడు ఉదాహరణకి నేను చెప్పిన ఆర్డర్లోనే వెళ్తాను. కాన్వర్జేషన్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఓ ఇద్దరు వ్యక్తులు సంభాషిస్తూ ఉంటారు, మాట్లాడుకుంటూ ఉంటారు. వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు అందులో ఉన్నటువంటి ఇంగ్లీష్ లాంగ్వేజ్ని, వారు యూజ్ చేస్తున్న ఫ్రేజెస్ ఆర్ వర్డ్స్, ఆ పదాలు, వాటి యొక్క స్ట్రక్చర్స్, వాటన్నిటిని కూడా అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి. స్టోరీ నరేషన్, ఒక కథని మీకు చెప్తున్నప్పుడు కథ మీకు స్క్రీన్ మీద కనిపిస్తుంది. అది చూస్తూ ఆ స్పెల్లింగ్ని, ఆ ప్రొనౌన్సియేషన్స్ని, మళ్ళీ వన్స్ అగైన్ ఆ గ్రామర్ని అవి అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి. ఇదే కాకుండా మీకు ఇన్స్పిరేషనల్ ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ కానీ, అంటే ఈ గొప్ప వ్యక్తుల యొక్క జీవితంలో జరిగినటువంటి స్ఫూర్తిదాయకమైనటువంటి విషయాల్ని కానీ, లేకపోతే ఒక ప్యారబుల్, ఒక అనెక్డోట్ అంటే చిన్న చిన్న కథల్ని కానీ చెప్పడం జరుగుతుంది. ఇక్కడ కూడా మీరు చేయవలసింది ఏంటి? ఆ చెప్తున్నటువంటి విషయాల్లో భాషని మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేయడమే, ఇంగ్లీష్ని అబ్జర్వ్ చేయడం, ఆ యొక్క పదాలు, వాటి యొక్క గ్రామర్ అదంతా కూడా అబ్జర్వ్ చేయడం. ఇదే కాకుండా గ్రామర్ సెగ్మెంట్ వచ్చేసరికి మీకు ఇంగ్లీష్ గ్రామర్ని నేర్పడం జరుగుతుంది. ఈ ఇంగ్లీష్ గ్రామర్లో కూడాను ప్రతి ఎపిసోడ్లోని ఒకటే పాయింట్ చెప్పేయడం అని కాకుండా అది బహుశా 2-3 ఎపిసోడ్లో కూడా వెళ్ళొచ్చు. ఆ గ్రామర్ పాయింట్ యొక్క పూర్తి ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్, కొన్ని ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్, దాని యూసేజ్ అండ్ ఈవెన్ ఎక్సర్సైజెస్ ఉంటాయి. ఎక్సర్సైజెస్ ఒక్కొక్కప్పుడు అదే ఎపిసోడ్లో ఉండొచ్చు, లేకపోతే కొన్ని హోంవర్క్గా ఇచ్చి నెక్స్ట్ ఎపిసోడ్లో కూడా డిస్కస్ చేస్తూ ఉండొచ్చు. ఇక ఇంకొక సెగ్మెంట్ వచ్చేసి ఒక కోట్ చూపిస్తాం మీకు స్క్రీన్ మీద. సో ఆ కోట్ని మీరు ఏమిటి, అందులో చెప్పిన విషయం ఏమిటి అనేది ఆలోచించండి. ఆ విషయాలన్నింటినీ కూడాను మీ జీవితంలో ఏ విధంగా వాటిని అకలింపు చేసుకోవచ్చు, ఏ విధంగా వాటిని తీసుకోవచ్చు అనే విషయాన్ని తీసుకుని మీరు భాష నేర్చుకుంటూ ఉండాలి. సో ఈ ఇంగ్లీష్ భాష నేర్చుకోవడం, భాష అనేసరికి అది అన్ని రకాల సమ్మేళనంగా ఉంటుంది. అందుకోసం అని చెప్పేసి మీకు మేము ప్రతి ఎపిసోడ్ని కూడా ఈ విధంగా మేము డిజైన్ చేయడం జరిగింది. అంటే కేవలం ఒక క్లాస్లో ఏదో జరుగుతున్నటువంటి ఒక గ్రామర్ పాఠంగా కాకుండా మీకు ఈ 4-5 రకాలుగా దీన్ని మీకు నేర్పడానికి మేము ప్రయత్నం చేస్తున్నాం. ఈ విధంగా మీరు ఇంగ్లీష్ని సులభంగా చక్కగా నేర్చుకోగలరని చెప్పి ఆశిస్తున్నాం. మరి ఇవాళ ఎపిసోడ్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోదామా?
Hello everyone, good day to you all. Now let us learn some grammar concepts and learn how to build English sentences through it.
Now let us get into today's program. So today we shall discuss about some questions I shall start and you give me the answers. Okay, right. So I start off with Anil. Anil, what are you doing?
I am studying MCS.
Achha, you are studying MCA. Very good. And madam, what are you doing?
I am doing jobs.
Achha, you are doing job. In English, we don't say I am doing job. In Telugu, it is possible, nenu pani chestunanu. But in English, we say I am working. Right? Very good. Then what about you?
I am preparing competitive exams.
Achha, you are preparing for competitive examinations. Very good. What sort of competitive examinations? Groups. Very good. Nice. Shrikant.
I am also
I am also preparing for competitive examinations. Very good. Nice.
I'm searching for a job.
You're searching for a job. What sort of job you would like to
Like work typist like
Achha,
that.
typist. Do you know typing?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Nice. So now what are all these questions related to? What did I speak about? I was speaking about some actions which were going on. Very good. Nice. Now, how to tell about actions that are happening now? For this, in English we have a nice concept, and this concept in grammar terms we call it as the present continuous tense. Otherwise, it is about ongoing actions or things happening now. For example, now what are we doing? Now you are sitting in a classroom. You are listening to the teacher who is speaking. You are writing down some notes. Similarly, ask, what is she doing? Then your answer, what is she doing? She is
Sitting on the chair.
She is sitting on the chair. Very good. What is he doing?
He's listening.
He is listening. He is listening to the lesson. Very good. What is she doing?
She writing on.
She is writing.
She is writing.
She is writing something. Very good. What are the people doing at the bus stop? What are the people doing at the bus stop? They are
Waiting for
waiting
bus.
for the bus. Very good. Nice. What is the priest doing in the temple? What is the priest doing in the temple? The
Yes.
priest is
Meditation.
He is meditating,
Meditating.
okay. Or he is performing the puja. Okay, very good. Then, Naresh, what is your mother doing now at home?
She is going to
She is going to?
work.
Acha, she is going for her work. She is going to her office. Okay, very good. Nice. What is your brother doing?
She's doing his work.
Acha, yeah, he is doing his work. Very good. Nice. Now, what is your neighbor doing now?
She is cooking.
She is cooking. Very good. So, what are all these sentences related to? Once again, they are actions going on now. So, how do we represent these actions? We use the V4 form of the verb. What is V4 form? It is the ing form of the verb. Verb is divided into 4 parts: V1 and Vs, V2, V3 and V4. V4 is the ing form of the verb. To this verb, we put auxiliaries, we add auxiliaries. They are the B forms. What are B forms? Am, is and are. So, am, is, are plus the V4, that gives you the present continuous tense. And how do we frame this structure? Am is used with
I.
I, very good. Is used with
He, she,
he,
it.
she, it or any singular noun for that matter. Good. And are is used with
You.
you,
We.
we, they and any plural noun. Very good. So, for example, I have the word like this. I have some words. I study BTech. How to frame a sentence?
I am studying
I am studying
BTech.
BTech. He go college.
He is going.
He is going to college. They sit auditorium.
They are sitting on the.
In the auditorium, not on the auditorium, in the auditorium. Very good. Then you watch TV.
You are watching
You are
TV.
watching TV. Nice. One more combination, may I say. Gardener water plants.
Gardener are watering plant.
Gardener is gardener singular. So, gardener is watering the plants. So, all these things we are using the B forms am, is, are plus the V4. So, now we shall note down some expressions for that. Okay, right? This is the present continuous. The present continuous. So, what do you mean by present continuous? It is about things happening now, or we call it as ongoing actions. So, now tell me some sentences we spoke. Tell me those examples.
I am writing.
I am writing. Very good. I am writing.
We are reading.
We are reading. We are reading. Can we extend this sentence? For example, I am writing. Can we extend this sentence? Some more words in that. I am writing.
I am writing notes.
The notes. Very good. Similarly, this one also.
We are reading books.
We are reading books. Very good. Yes.
They are playing the games.
They are playing games. Okay. They are playing games.
We are learning English.
Good example. We are learning English. One more place.
We are listening class.
We are listening to the class. Always for listen, we need the verb, we need the pronoun, the preposition to. So, we are listening to the class or to the class teacher, to a person. Very good, nice. So, what do we see in all these actions? We find the auxiliaries and we also have the V4 form. Now, I want one more example with is. So, a singular noun. Give me one more example with is.
He is.
He is. Continue the sentence.
He is writing on the book.
Writing is already we have used. So
He
one
is
more.
sitting on the chair.
He is sitting on the chair. Okay, very good. He is sitting on the chair. Very good. So, what is the structure? We see it is am, is, are plus the V4 form of the verb. The V4 form is also called as the ing form or the ing form of the verb. This is how the basic structure of the present continuous would be there. So, in the present continuous we find that we use the structure am is are plus V4, that is the ing form of the verb. Now, I shall give you a task. You will write down the task and then answer. So, the task is you need to frame sentences for me. I have given you sets of words and the pronouns. You can even use names. Remember that it should be am, is or are plus V4. This is the structure which you are using. Okay, you can frame number of sentences. First we will discuss oral, then we shall put them on board. Okay, so Srikanth, you can take any combination.
I am washing the clothes.
Yeah, I am washing my clothes. Okay, good. Right. Anil,
I am teaching
I am
lessons.
I am reading lessons. Use the combinations which I have given over there. I am reading lessons. Good.
She is reading newspaper.
She is reading newspaper. Very good.
She is singing songs.
She is singing songs. Good.
She is cooking meals.
She is cooking meals. Very good. Can you frame with it? It. For example, a bird, a parrot.
The parrot flying.
Flying.
The parrot
Flying.
is flying.
He is
Huh?
flying.
He is flying. Where is the parrot flying? He is flying
He
in
is
the
flying
sky.
sky.
Okay. Then what about names? Names of persons, places, things. Any of the nouns.
Sita.
Valmiki is writing
Ramayana.
Ramayana.
Swamiji is writing Ramayana. Okay. Sita.
Sita is washing cloth.
Sita is washing clothes. Sita and Ramayana. With this, anyone example? Naresh is watching the news. I want Ramayana's example with Sita.
We are
Tree. Sita. tree, Ramayana?
The tree.
Any idea?
Sita is sitting on the tree.
Under the
under
tree. Very good. In Ramayana you find Sita is sitting under the Ashoka tree. Very good. Still,
We are reading lessons.
we are reading our lessons. Very good. Now you can give your own examples also. You can hear from distance in the temple a bell. So what do you say? Somebody is doing an action.
They are
They are. What do you say for that?
bell.
What do you say that word? They are ringing the bells. They are ringing the bells. So somebody comes to our house, they ring the bell on the door. They are ringing the doorbell. Still, you can hear the birds making sound. You say that the birds are chirping. Chirping means the sound what birds make. Still, any more examples?
They are cooking.
They are cooking. Okay, very good. Right. In the hotel, the cooks are cooking. Now we will write down 5 sentences. Okay.
They are going.
They are going to. They are going to some place.
Movie.
Okay. They are going to the movie. They are going to the temple also. Okay. Next.
She is preparing for the exams.
She is preparing for the exam. Very good.
I am going to temple.
I am going to a temple. I am going to a temple. Now give me with a person, Rajesh for example.
Rajesh learning spoken English in RK.
Right, Rajesh is learning spoken English in RK Mart. Now I will put an animal name over here, because when you think of names, names are all nouns. So one animal. Say for example, tiger. Tiger is?
Roaring.
Lions roar. Tigers don't roar.
Catching the deer.
Is hunting the deer.
Hunting the deer.
Is hunting the deer. Tiger is hunting the deer. Very good, nice. So, when we think of actions which are happening now, things which are happening now or ongoing actions, we use the structure am, is, are plus the V4. Okay. So, at home also practice some more examples and you can easily learn this structure. Okay. So, that is all for today. So, meet you in next episode. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good day to you all. Now let us improve our English by listening to an interesting conversation between two friends.
Hello Rajesh.
Hi Sai.
Rajesh, I have a question.
What?
Apart from spending time with our members of family,
Okay.
with whom we spend lot of time.
Yeah, it's obviously with our friends.
Yes, obviously I agree with you.
Yes. So then friends can play a very important role in our life.
Yes.
You see that so in everybody's life, first of all we start our friendship from our school days.
Right.
And it continues till the end of our life.
Right.
So friendship is very important for every person.
Yes.
That's what I believe. I strongly believe in friendship. Would you like to just say anything about friendship?
Yes, Rajesh. The most important thing what I like is, which point I like most important is the mutual understanding.
Yes.
Equal understanding should be there between
Yes.
two friends. Then only the
Yes.
friendship can the friendship can be
Yes, can be continued.
can be successful and it can be
Yes.
continued
Yes.
at any point of time.
Yes.
So mutual understanding means you need to understand what trouble he has,
Yes.
and also you should also think from
Yes.
another side of the coin that what my friend has trouble.
Yes.
So in that way you need to have that equal understanding.
Yes.
So when you have that equal understanding, the friendship is successful.
Yes.
And also one more point which strikes to my mind is
What is that?
you should be helpful
To your
to each
friend.
other
Yes.
in the times of need.
In the times of that's very
Right.
important.
And APJ Abdul Kalam says that a good friend is equal to a good library.
Oh wow.
What is
That's
your
very rightly
opinion
said.
on this?
Yes, I strongly believe that because when you have good friends, you won't just make good future.
Yes.
If you have bad friends,
Ah.
your future also will be bad.
Bad.
So that's why I just strongly believe in good friends, not
Right.
in bad friends.
Right.
So then, and we always enjoy the company of our friends.
Good friends.
Yeah, company of good friends, of course.
Very
that.
good.
Only good friends that we are talking about.
Yes.
And the matters which we cannot share with our blood relations like mother and father, like
Right.
we can share those matters with our friends.
So
That's a great that's a great thing about friendship.
So here comes the role of a friend, Rajesh.
Yes.
What do you feel?
Yes.
Means friend plays a very vital role in our life. What do you feel about this?
Yes, yes.
And do you know when does the friendship start in our life?
Yeah, from school days.
Yes.
Yes.
Means school days are the days where
Yes.
we try to make friends.
Yes.
And also Rajesh, what is most important in friendship?
Trust.
Trust. Yes.
Yes. This is very important.
Means
That is the that is the foundation of every friendship. Just we have to just trust our friend first of all.
Yes.
That's very important.
yes.
అది ఉండాలి ఖచ్చితంగా ఫ్రెండ్షిప్ లో నమ్మకం అనేది లేకపోతే చాలా కష్టం.
Yes. And not only in friendship, in every relationship.
Yeah, every relationship
Trust is most
yes,
important.
Yes, yes.
And I have one example, Rajesh, like
What?
the friendship between Krishna and Kuchela. Have you heard any time about Krishna and Kuchela?
No, sorry, can you please tell
Like
me about that?
Kuchela is very from poor family background anamata.
Okay.
So one day Kuchela wanted to decide to go to Krishna's palace.
Okay.
So Kuchela's wife will give some flattened rice. Flattened rice అంటే అటుకులు అన్నమాట. అటుకులు ఒక ప్యాకెట్ లో ఎందుకంటే కృష్ణుడికి చాలా అటుకులు అంటే చాలా ఇష్టం అన్నమాట. సో ఆ అటుకుల ప్యాకెట్ ని కృష్ణుడికి ఇచ్చేయమని చెప్పేసి పంపిస్తుంది అనమాట. సో కుచేలా విల్ గో టు ద కృష్ణాస్ ప్యాలెస్ అండ్ he will give that packet to the Krishna and Krishna feels very happy.
Yes.
So what Krishna understands here is the purity of thought.
Wow.
Means Kuchela doesn't have any financial background, good financial background, but he has good purity of heart.
Yes.
He has good quality thought of giving something to Krishna,
Krishna.
whatever he has. అంటే
Yes.
అతనికి ఉన్న దాంట్లో కృష్ణునికి కొంచెం ఇవ్వాలని చెప్పేసి ఒక మంచి ఆలోచనతో
Yes.
వచ్చాడనమాట. సో మన ఫ్రెండ్షిప్ లో కూడా ఇలాంటివి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్.
Yes, that's been
Quality
rightly said.
and purity matters in friendship. And the moment Krishna accepts it, you know the difference. Kuchela will go to his residence, his
Okay.
home.
Okay.
The whole house is filled with all the diamonds and good furniture, everything. He becomes very rich person. Means that God's grace is like that. Means here we have to understand that if you do some service without any intention, if you do
Without expecting anything.
without expecting anything in
Yes,
return,
yes.
that brings joy and happiness in our life, Rajesh. So it was a nice discussion having
Nice discussion
friendship
just we had today
Rajesh, with you.
just about friendship.
We had many points
I also
discussed.
just felt very very happy about your example that you have given.
Okay, Rajesh.
Really impressed.
Right.
Okay.
Hello everyone, now it is story time. Let us listen to this interesting story, understand the sentence construction and improve our English from it.
We face many difficulties in life. చాలా మందికి చాలా కష్టాలు వస్తాయి అండ్ ఒక్కొక్కసారి కొన్ని భయానకమైన పరిస్థితులు కూడా వస్తాయి. అలాంటప్పుడు చాలామంది భయపడిపోతారు. అంతేగాని దాన్ని తెలివితేటలు ఉపయోగించి దాన్ని మనం ఎలాగా ఆ భయం నుంచి తప్పించుకోవచ్చు, ఆ పరిస్థితి నుంచి ఎలా బయటపడవచ్చు అనేది సో కొంతమందికి సాధ్యం అవుతుంది. బట్ ఇట్స్ అ వండర్ఫుల్ థింగ్ టు ప్రాక్టీస్. ఓకే, ఐ థింక్ ఎవ్రీబడి షుడ్ నో దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ the kind of way to get out of that fear or problem. Okay, the demon's share. Demon ante oka bhutan lantidi. Okay, so one day a demon came to see a farmer who was working in his field. These fields belong to my father's father, said the demon. I will take half of whatever you grow in these fields. The farmer was frightened, but he kept his wits about him. You can take whatever grows above the ground, Your Excellency, he said. The demon agreed and went away. సో ఒక డీమన్ ఫార్మర్ దగ్గరకు వచ్చి ఈ ఫీల్డ్ మా ఫాదర్ది, సో ఇక్కడ పెరిగిందంతా హాఫ్ షేర్ చేసుకోవాలి మనం అని చెప్పిందిట. వెల్ దెన్ ద ఫార్మర్ ఫస్ట్ భయపడ్డాడు కానీ తర్వాత చెప్పాడు, ఓకే సో ఇద్దరం షేర్ చేసుకుందాం, ఈ భూమి కింద ఏదైతే ఉందో అది నేను తీసుకుంటాను, భూమి పైన పెరిగిందంతా నువ్వు తీసుకోమని చెప్పాడు. సో ద డీమన్ అగ్రీడ్ ఫర్ దాట్. ఓకే, అండ్ దట్ ఇయర్ ద ఫార్మర్ గ్రూ పొటాటోస్ ఇన్ హిస్ ఫీల్డ్. And when the demon came for his share, he got the stems and leaves of the plant, but since they grow underground, not a single potato. So, ఆ ఇయర్ ఫార్మర్ పొటాటోస్ వేశాడు. సో డీమన్ పంట వచ్చాక తన షేర్ కోసం వచ్చి చూస్తే పైన అంతా ఆకులు కొమ్మలు మాత్రమే ఉన్నాయి తన షేర్కి, సో కింద పొటాటోస్ ఉన్నాయి. సో హీ వాజ్ వెరీ డిసప్పాయింటెడ్, చాలా కోపం వచ్చింది. హీ గాట్ యాంగ్రీ ఆల్సో. And next time I will take whatever grows below the ground, he growled. So next time భూమి కింద పండింది నేను తీసుకుంటాను, పైన ఉన్నదంతా నువ్వు తీసుకోమని చెప్పాట. Well, when he came again some months later, the farmer was harvesting corn. And he had planted corn and had got a bumper harvest. So next year farmer దాంట్లో కార్న్ అంటే మొక్కజొన్నలు వేశాట. ఓకే, ఆసారి చాలా బాగా వచ్చింది పంట కూడా. సో బంపర్ హార్వెస్ట్ అంటే చాలా మంచి పంట. అండ్ వెన్ హీ కేమ్ అగైన్ సమ్ మంత్స్ లేటర్ ద ఫార్మర్ వాజ్ హార్వెస్టింగ్ కార్న్ అండ్ హీ హ్యాడ్ ప్లాంటెడ్ కార్న్ అండ్ హ్యాడ్ గాట్ ఎ బంపర్ హార్వెస్ట్. వేర్ ఈజ్ మై షేర్ స్క్రీమ్డ్ ద డీమన్. స్క్రీమ్డ్ అంటే గట్టిగా అరిచేట, వేర్ ఈజ్ మై షేర్ అని. వెల్ యువర్ షేర్ ఈజ్ అండర్ ద గ్రౌండ్ యువర్ ఎక్సలెన్సీ, సెడ్ ద ఫార్మర్. యూ కెన్ టేక్ ద రూట్స్ అవే వెన్ ఎవర్ యూ వాంట్. సో ఈసారి అండర్ గ్రౌండ్ది డీమన్ షేర్ కాబట్టి, సో మీ షేర్ కింద ఉంది, మీరు ఎప్పుడు కాస్తే అప్పుడు తీసుకోవచ్చు అని చెప్పాట ఫార్మర్. ద డీమన్ అషేమ్డ్ ఎట్ బీయింగ్ అవుట్విటెడ్ బై ఎ ఫార్మర్ టర్న్డ్ అరౌండ్ వితౌట్ అనదర్ వర్డ్ అండ్ వాక్డ్ అవే అండ్ ద ఫార్మర్ నెవర్ సా హిమ్ అగైన్. సో ఈసారి కింద ఏముంది, ఓన్లీ రూట్స్, పైన పండిందంతా ఫార్మర్ తీసుకున్నాడు, దట్ ఈస్ ద రియల్ కార్న్. సో డీమన్కి వెల్ ఈ ఫార్మర్ చేతిలో ఓడిపోయినందుకు చాలా బాధపడి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు, మళ్ళీ ఇంకెప్పుడు రాలేదు. సో ఇలాంటి సమస్యలు ఎప్పుడైనా వస్తే తెలివితేటలతో మనం అవి పోగొట్టుకుని వీ కెన్ సాల్వ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ విత్ అవర్ రెడీ విట్ అండ్ వీ కెన్ బీ హ్యాపీ. ఓకే, ఫైన్.
Hello everyone, good day to you all. And now we will see a quote. We will see, we will read and we shall understand what the quote is. everyone. Now let us listen to an anecdote. Anecdote is nothing but a small story, an incident that occurred in a great personality's life. Let us listen to this and improve our English.
Hello everyone.
Hello all and welcome to another segment of English for All. We will get back to our anecdotes this time. Anecdotes, like I said earlier, is a life incident occurred in a person's life, and this time we will be discussing an anecdote as in a life incident that has occurred in Swami Vivekananda's life. And Mansi would be more than glad, I am sure, to talk about an anecdote.
Definitely. So this particular anecdote happened in London.
Okay.
Swami Vivekananda's speeches were very popular all over the world, especially in London, because a lot of people appreciated his words there. One evening in London, he was giving a speech about Raja Yoga, which is one of the types of yoga.
Okay.
And during the speech, his words were so spellbinding, they were so captivating that the audience were listening very attentively. Sometimes there would be disturbances, but the audience, because they were so spellbound by his words, they continued to listen and all that. Now in the middle, there was one Anglo-Indian gentleman.
Okay.
Anglo means, the word Anglo refers to English. So Anglo-Indian gentleman means an Indian who has taken English culture. So an English Indian gentleman. Now this gentleman started passing a lot of criticism to Swami Vivekananda while he was giving the speech. But the people tried to ignore it and kept listening to Swamiji. However, they were not able to do that for very long. Now this particular Anglo-Indian gentleman, he started criticizing. Swami Vivekananda also tried to ignore, but beyond a point it became difficult because the Anglo-Indian gentleman started taking his rights for granted and said lot of unnecessary things. Whenever Swamiji would speak in glory about Buddha, that Anglo-Indian gentleman would insult Buddha. Whenever Swamiji praised the yogis and the sannyasis in India, the Anglo-Indian gentleman would insult them and call them thieves or imposters.
Oh.
And when Swamiji said that he is a Bengali person, the Anglo-Indian gentleman took it too far and began to vilify the Bengali people. Vilify means talk in a way that puts somebody down. So he started to vilify the Bengali people of India, and he started to speak very greatly about British. Now Swamiji was being patient till now, but his patience was wearing thin. So finally, when he was not able to tolerate this person's words anymore, Swamiji started talking and taking up incidents from history where the British have committed so many unspeakable crimes against people across the world and against the people of India. After hearing this, the Anglo-Indian gentleman did not have any response, and he was silenced by Swamiji's stern words. Swamiji also continued his speech as though nothing had happened. So if you notice over the entire incident, even though Swamiji in his speech was talking about so many good things about people in India, good things about people in Britain, good things about Americans, there were a lot of positive points made in Swamiji's speech. But this Anglo-Indian gentleman was not even paying attention to that. He was always finding something to put Swamiji down. So what do we learn from this? We learn that good things are not always appreciated by everybody. And this is something that every one of us ends up facing at some point in our life.
Exactly. It so happens that no matter how good you do or what all the good deeds you do, there will be somebody to criticize, somebody to pinpoint or to pick fault from what we did.
Even if it is not true.
But now after listening to this anecdote, I must say that just like how Swamiji took a bold step against this, if we are not in a position to take bold step, at least we must be in a position not to let such criticism affect our good deed.
Exactly. That's very true. Just like you said, when a person is not able to stop someone from making such negative points of criticism, at least, just as you rightly put, make sure it does not affect you. And if you are in a position to tell that person that they are not right, never hesitate to do so. Because after all, you are all fellow human beings, and it is our responsibility to correct each other in a proper, nice way wherever possible.
Exactly, in a proper decent way we can correct and we can move ahead. We should, to an extent, maybe we can ignore when it could be ignored, but like how you are telling, if it goes beyond a point, let such criticism not affect us, not put a hindrance to our good deeds or to anybody's good deed.
Very true, very true. So that's a good lesson I think we learned
That
today.
was an excellent anecdote from Swami Vivekananda's life. I am sure you all also got the same message that Manasi wanted to put forward by discussing this anecdote, and thank you all so much for watching this.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. Now it is parable time. Parables are nothing but moral stories. Let us now listen to an interesting parable and learn the essence out of that story. Hello everyone.
Good day to you all. Now let us listen to a small moral story, a tiny and interesting one, and learn something good from it. So Varsha, over to you.
Okay. The moral story is about intelligence triumphs over ignorance. Now, how so? Once upon a time, there lived two crows. One crow was slightly intelligent. The other crow was slightly dumb. But these two crows were good friends. One day, they ended up having a big argument. One crow said, "I can fly higher. I am much better." The other crow said, "No, that is not the case. I can fly higher. I am much better." And finally, after all the bickering, they came to a conclusion. They said, "We will have a contest. We both will have a race and we will fly. Let us see who will fly the highest. Whoever flies the highest will be declared the winner." But then they also thought, both of us are crows. What if we fly at the equal height? Then they decided that each of us will carry a sack along with us when we are flying. So one crow, which was more intelligent, said, "I will carry a small sack of salt." The other crow laughed out loud and said, "Well, in that case, I will carry a sack of cotton. Cotton is much lighter than salt and obviously I will emerge as a winner." Finally, the day of the contest, both the crows carried their own sack of items. One carried the salt, the other carried cotton, and both the crows flew away. Higher and higher as they soared up in the sky, suddenly it began to rain. The harder it began to rain, the faster both the crows started to fly and move out. Now remember, both the crows were carrying their own pack of sacks with items. As it was raining, both the sacks got drenched with water. Now we all know that salt will melt with the water, it will get dissolved. The intelligent crow which was carrying the sack of salt, the sack got drenched, the water got dissolved and the salt got dissolved in the water and the sack became lighter. The other crow which was carrying a sack of cotton, the cotton started absorbing water and the cotton became heavy for it to carry. While the intelligent crow had a sack of salt and the salt got dissolved, the sack became lighter and the crow was able to fly even more higher. The other crow, poor thing, because the cotton absorbed the water, the weight became heavy, it was not able to soar up so high. And obviously the intelligent crow was declared the winner. The moral of the story is, intelligence triumphs over ignorance. Now how do we apply it is, ignorance will come only when we are not aware of something. And the same happened with the other crow. It was not aware that salt will get dissolved in the water, the sack will become lighter and the crow will be able to fly even more higher. The other crow was not aware of the fact, so it chose cotton. Had this crow also been a little more intelligent, had it been aware of this fact, it would also be able to fly a little more higher. We need to adapt this to an extent where we also should be aware of the things around us. We should also develop a learning habit so that we develop and we become a little more intelligent, so that we don't be ignorant of the most simplest facts, and that should not affect us.
Exactly. So when, like you said, when a person is not aware of themselves, of their surroundings, there is naturally a lack of intelligence in whatever decision they make.
Exactly.
That is being ignorant. So when you overcome that ignorance and you become aware, you will naturally make better, intelligent decisions, which is why they say intelligence conquers or triumphs over ignorance.
The more aware we are, the more intelligent, the more smart we become. The more smart we become, the more good decisions we will be able to take, so
And
that
we'll be
we
more-
will also be able to triumph over any ignorance or unawareness that is around
Exactly.
us.
And that will make us a lot more successful.
Exactly. I hope you all catch the essence of this moral story, and thank you so much for watching.